So, what if I told you that being rich has almost nothing to do with the number in your bank account? Seriously. Today, we're going to dive into 50 financial truths from the best-selling author Ramit Sethi, and they're going to totally change how you think about money. We're talking about designing what he calls your rich life. Okay, let's just start right here. That word, money. How does it actually make you feel? And be honest with yourself. Is it, anxiety, guilt, maybe excitement? Whatever that feeling is, that's our real starting point. Because let's be real, our financial habits, they aren't about spreadsheets. They're all driven by our emotions. And this right here, this is the absolute core of Ramit's whole philosophy. Forget that old idea of just hoarding every single dollar for some far-off future you might not even enjoy. A rich life, it's all about strategically using your money today to build a life that's just overflowing with the stuff that actually matters to you. It's not about being rich later, it's about living richly now. All right, so let's jump into our first section, master your money mindset. Because look, the biggest thing holding you back from your rich life, it isn't your paycheck, nope, it's the 6 inches between your ears. It's so easy to get totally paralyzed by regret, right? Thinking, oh, I'm too late to start. But that is a trap. The magic of compounding, it doesn't just apply to your money, it applies to your habits too. So I don't care if you're 22 or 52, the most powerful day to take action is always, always the same. Today, like right now. So many of us get completely stuck in what they call analysis paralysis, waiting for the perfect investment or the perfect budget. Well, here's the truth. That perfect plan, it doesn't exist. It's so much better to just start now, make a few small mistakes you can learn from, than to wait forever and do absolutely nothing. Okay, now this is fascinating. A tiny little change in your self-talk can completely transform your results. It's true. Your words literally create your reality. If you say, I can't do it, well, that's just a dead end. But saying, I'm learning how to do it, suddenly that opens up a whole world of possibility and growth. All right, with that mindset shift locked in, let's move on to section 2, spend like you mean it. And you're going to want to get ready for this because we are about to completely obliterate that boring old advice that tells you to feel guilty about every single coffee you buy. This right here is the core strategy. And it's not about being cheap, okay? It's about being deliberate. You figure out what brings you just immense value and joy, and you spend extravagantly on that. Then you find the stuff you couldn't care less about, and you cut those costs to the absolute bone. And this is a perfect example of what that actually looks like in practice. For Ramit, it's an unlimited budget for books. Why? Because that's an investment in himself. For you, it might be high-quality clothes that make you feel incredible or travel that creates memories for a lifetime. And on the flip side, you just stop wasting money on ridiculous things like bank fees or those crazy overpriced hotel minibars. Yeah, it's a trade-off, but it's one that makes you way, way happier. So the process itself is beautifully simple. Step 1, you get really good at saying no. And not just to other people, but to your own impulses. For spending on stuff that just doesn't align with your rich life. Then step 2, you take every single dollar you save from saying no and you put it to work by investing it. That is how you turn small cuts into serious, significant wealth. Which naturally leads us to the next big idea. Look, conscious spending is powerful, for sure, but to really move the needle, you have to focus on the big wins. We're talking about the major financial decisions that have a huge, outsized impact on your life. So Ramit argues that these 3 things, they're the true foundation of wealth. Why is that? Well, because when your relationships, your work, and your home life are stable and solid, you gain the confidence to take smart risks. Things like negotiating a huge raise or maybe even starting a business. That security, it's the launch pad for your financial growth. Okay, now for a big win that is absolutely non-negotiable. Getting rid of high-interest debt. I mean, society has somehow made it seem normal to carry a credit card balance month after month. Ramit is crystal clear on this. It is not normal. It is a financial emergency. If you can't pay your bill in full each month, you've got a 5-alarm fire on your hands that you need to put out starting right now. And here's another big win that kind of challenges conventional wisdom. We've all been told that renting is just throwing money away, right? But that is not always true, not by a long shot. When you actually factor in all the hidden costs of owning a home, we're talking maintenance, taxes, interest. Renting can often be a way smarter financial decision. It gives you more flexibility and, more capital to invest somewhere else. And when it comes to other big life expenses, like a wedding or a major trip, here is a rule to live by. Whatever you think it's going to cost, double it. Seriously, maybe even triple it, because unexpected costs always come up. And if you plan for them from the very beginning, you'll prevent a massive financial shock later on. Okay, so let's bring this all home in our final section. Your rich life starts now. This is where we talk about integrating all these principles into a fulfilling, long-term vision for your life. Listen, building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. It really is. If you only wait for the huge, massive milestones to feel good, you're just going to burn out. So when you pay off a credit card or when you automate a new investment, celebrate it. You have to acknowledge your progress. That's what creates the positive feedback loop that's going to keep you motivated for the long haul. Remember, a rich life is a life of growth. The skills and the mindset that got you your first job or helped you save your first $1,000, they're not going to be enough to get you to the next level. You have to stay curious. You have to keep learning and be totally willing to adapt your strategies as your goals change and evolve. So, if we were to boil this whole thing down to just 3 simple rules for your rich life, here they are. First, master your psychology. Get your mindset right from the start. Second, spend consciously, not just frugally. Spend lavishly on the things you love, and be ruthless about cutting what you don't. And third, automate the big wins. Get those things working for you in the background, so you can stop worrying and actually go out and live your life. And that really brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? For just a moment, forget the numbers. Money, it's just a tool. The real question is, who do you want that tool to help you become? Do you want to be more generous, more adventurous, more secure? You got to figure that out first, and then, and only then, can you design a financial plan to build that exact life.